to do is we're going to play with Alan's feet. Are we all right to play with your feet, Danny?
Yes.
I don't really like feet. Can I just say this? I consider them the frayed edges of the body. I don't
You want both feet?
I just need one. If I could... Do you want to play...
I believe my feet died in 1987. And the rest of my body will catch up eventually, but I think my feet went some time ago.
Right. So here's what we're going to do.
We've never had an audience that's so judgmental. What do you hear? A tongue twister.
OK, I think... Very nice.
Someone else will get their foot out and you go, yeah!
OK, so Ramesh, there's a little stick. So imagine that your big toe is number 1, and the next toe is number 2, 3, so number 5 is your little toe. I want you to shut your eyes, and Ramesh... Ramesh is going to gently touch one of your toes, and you tell us which one it is he's touching. I can't actually see which one's being touched. Let me just come and have a look. I'm coming behind you. OK, go ahead, then. Do it again. Yeah?
4.
Yeah, then keep going.
3.
So, OK. So, you can stop now. That's fantastic, because rather marvellously and rather pleasingly, you've entirely proved the point that I was trying to make, which is very nice. So, you said it was number 3, and, in fact, it was number 2.
Was it?
Yeah, it was actually number 2 that was being poked. And here's the extraordinary thing.
I can't get my leg there, hang on.
Are you all right? So, people at Oxford University research this kind of thing. In 2015, so they asked people to close their eyes while somebody pressed on one of their fingers, and they were correctly able to identify, 99% of the case, which finger was being simulated.
It sort of defeats the object.
Do it yourself. Yeah, to go and redo it yourself.
You know which one you probably...
Yeah. And also...
I went right through with it, and I did one of the toes myself, and then thought, well, no, that's number 1, and then...
Have you ever been involved in scientific research in any way?
I just have to let myself down, Sandy, all the time. I'm such an unbelievable idiot.
I think you're lovely. So you can recognise your big and little toes about 94% of the time, but the ones in the middle are the troublesome ones. We particularly struggle, as you did, between the second and the third toes, and about half the people, when the second toe is pressed, actually think it's the third one. And also, even more strangely, lots of people find it difficult to keep track of their toes entirely. Nearly half the testers reported feeling as if one toe was gone. A huge number of people with their eyes shut thought they only had 4 toes. So,
When you just thought we've picked the wrong person for the experiment.
Yeah. Thank you, guys, to reinvent the run. What ideas could you suggest to make life easier for runners?
Well, as someone with cerebral palsy...
Yes, darling.
I have spent a lot of time thinking about how I'd rework my running style, and I think it goes beyond a simple matter of technique, to be honest. I think there's something deeper at work.
Yes, something more philosophical.
Yeah.
But has anybody got any thoughts about it? We know how you run normally. Can anybody sort of mime how you run normally?
You run...
Wow. It's like you've turned into a cartoon.
What?
Do you run?
Alan, you're doing it all...
I mean, there is no problem a Russian athlete hasn't tried to solve with steroids. So.
Yeah.
At school, I won the 400 metres back running. I run backwards, faster than I can run forward.
This is an event he's staged entirely alone.
Would you like to show us?
All right, yes.
Can you do it down there?
Yes,
can you
I
do
will.
it in the front
OK.
there?
Hang on. Right. So this is me running normally forwards in the traditional style.
Phil, that's surprisingly camp.
Surprisingly camp.
So there was a study done at Harvard University, a man called Andrew Yegin, and what he found was that walking with completely straight arms was more efficient than walking...
What, like this?
Yes.
It looks like I've got some live animals in my pocket.
Try running with straight arms.
Running with straight arms,
yes.
all right. OK.
Try that, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I feel there's a slight penguin vibe. I'll do the penguin going round the corner gag. You'll love this.
That's marvellous. So this study, which was in 2019, what he discovered is that running with straight arms instead of them bent makes no difference, actually, to the speed or the efficiency. So they gave everybody oxygen masks and asked them to walk and run on treadmills trying these things, because obviously if you use more energy, you're going to need more oxygen.
Yes.
Walking with straight arms, actually more efficient, uses 11% less oxygen than walking with bent arms. And when it came to running, it made no difference, really, in terms of oxygen consumption. So the truth is, we don't really know why we run with bent arms. It's just that everybody seems to think it's harder to run with straight arms. It's possible just it feels like your head is more stable. Possibly you get less fatigued because your shoulders are moving. We don't know. A couple of words that I need to check with you, Henning. These are said to be German words, OK? So, Torschlusspanik.
You're not doing it full justice.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Torschlusspanik.
Do you know what it means, door shut panic?
Yeah, Torschlusspanik is if something's all the rage and then you feel like you have to get involved as well, and then you might jump into something, which then quite frequently turns out to your disadvantage.
Brexit.
Yeah. What about this one? Teppichfresser, carpet eater.
Teppichfresser, yeah. That's someone who works really, really hard and constantly exerts themselves. So, and the national football team, you really want 11 Teppichfresser.
Yeah.
Who really go to the absolute limit and beyond.
I love that that's the German attitude to a carpet eater. We would just think it was somebody...
Well, the idea is they've already exerted themselves, so they are on the deck.
Right.
And then they don't give in, but they carry on. Exactly.
Eating the carpet.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it was a nickname for Hitler. Did you know that? I've got a quote about him. It says, whenever he goes on a rampage, he flings himself to the floor and chews the edges of the carpet, hence the Teppichfresser.
Well, that sounds to me like foreign propaganda, to be honest.
I don't want anything in common with Hitler. But now I do.
Yeah. Well, both Teppichfressers.
Yeah.
Rosie, I would say don't worry if you feel as though you've got something in common with Hitler. You know, I'm a vegetarian, Alan's only got one ball.
What is it? How can laxatives...
Yeah, how can laxatives help the lovesick?
Probably just give you a bit of perspective, I imagine. You know, like, if you're worried about soiling yourself, you're just bigger... You've got bigger fish to fry. You've got a bigger problem at hand, I would imagine.
That's a very good point. Do we think lovesickness is a real thing?
No.
Yes. Yeah, I think it can have physical effects.
Yeah, absolutely does. Loss of appetite, depression, inability to sleep. Weirdly, historically, also supposed to have resulted in excess blinking. You can literally die of a broken heart. That is a thing.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, yeah.
I've heard people say it. But...
No, so if you have severe emotional stress, it can weaken the left ventricle, that's the heart's main pumping chamber, and it gives you a condition called taxubocardiomyopathy. I have to say, more than 90% of the cases are reported in women aged 58 to 75. I mean, most people recover. There's a very low death rate.
But there's never been a case in Yorkshire.
No.
Oh, well, I'll just buy a whippet instead.
I mean, today we blame it on an imbalance of hormones, although historically they used to blame it on the four humours. Anybody know what the four humours were?
Frankincense and...
Frankincense and myrrh, yeah. It's phlegm and blood and black bile.
Blood's one, yes. Bile.
Two kinds, black bile and yellow bile.
But the medical science was based on the humours for centuries.
For centuries. And lovesickness was supposedly down to an excess of black bile, and so the best cure was thought to be laxatives right up until the Victorian times.
No.
Yes. So if that didn't work, then purgatives to make you vomit or leeches to drain your blood. That was the way to cure people. Actually, the worst story, so in the 5th century, there was a Roman collection of biographies called the Historia Augusta, and Marcus Aurelius' wife, Faustina, she had terrible love sickness for a hunky gladiator, right? And it was cured by having the gladiator killed, and she and Marcus Aurelius had sex in a pool of his blood.
Oh, my God.
No.
Your phone's dead, your TV's on the blink, the Wi-Fi's down. How can you tell if a thunderstorm is on the way?
I live in the countryside, so if my Wi-Fi is down, I'm assuming the thunderstorm has just been.
I live in the country. If the Wi-Fi's down, I'm not surprised.
Do you have bees? Because then if bees all go back in the hive, that means there's a storm coming.
We are in the animal world, and it was a specific thing invented to tap into this innate ability of some animals, and it's a thing called a tempest prognosticator, also known as the leech barometer. Invented in 1850 by Dr. George Merriweather, and it was used to predict oncoming storms. So it's 12 glass bottles, pint bottles. Each one has a leech in it. And what's very sweet is that George Merriweather put them in a circle so that none of the leeches would get lonely, which I think is very sweet.
Thoughtful.
Yeah. This is a 1951 replica. It's in Whitby in the museum there. Merriweather was once the curator there. This is the way it works. So it's 12 glass bottles, right? And each has a thin piece of whalebone in the neck. And what happens is, when there's an impending storm, it prompts changes in atmospheric pressure, and it prompts them to climb up the sides of the bottle and dislodge the whalebone, and causing the hammer to strike a bell. And if the bell rang repeatedly, then a thunderstorm was approaching.
A slightly over-engineered solution.
Do you think?
I mean, if you had that in your house and people, what's that? Well, that's just in case the Wi-Fi goes down.
Imagine there's a satellite going around the Earth full of leeches.
Just as a backup. Is that like something Elon Musk would come up with?
But Merriweather was so pleased with this. He wanted to make big ones the size of Indian temples and then very simple ones, and he wanted to roll it out across the country.
I'm amazed that didn't happen.
I know.
Yeah. It's such a handy gadget, that, to have one of those, you know.
The government did not have any imagination, stuck with barometers, but I think it's one of the best things I've ever seen.
I wonder how he came up with it. I've got these leeches, these whalebones.
Well, he was a doctor as well. He would have used leeches in his medical practice, and indeed, leeches are still used today to prevent blood clots.
So they're putting stuff into the blood, are they?
Yes, they have something in the saliva called hirudin, which is an anticoagulant. Anyway, he intended to use his hysterical aquatic bloodsuckers to create a whole range of barometers, old George Merriweather, but it didn't happen. And then there's another guy, 1906, Professor Joseph Nowak of Vienna. He promoted a tropical vine, which is called rosary pea, and he said this was a tempest predicting plant, that it's got sort of feathery leaves, and if they pointed up, that meant there was going to be fine, and if they pointed down, there was going to be a thunderstorm. And he claimed that it could predict the weather in a 3,000-mile radius a week in advance. Earthquakes... I know. Earthquakes a month in advance. Unfortunately, he was never able to prove that it worked.
No!
You don't say.
I know.
I think one of the simplest ways to predict a thunderstorm is to organise a picnic. One year I did a big outdoor origami festival, and sure enough, it rained.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was disappointed because I had all the experts from all around the world coming, and we had swans, poodles, elephants, everything in there. It just looked like roadkill.
Have anybody ever seen a great big flash of lightning? Anybody ever seen
I was knocked flat by lightning once.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
What happened?
I was knocked flat by lightning.
What's the best way to weigh our souls? No, sorry, let's say it again. What's the best way to weigh our souls?
Someone did do an experiment like this.
They did, yeah.
A scientist in the old days weighed people just before and just after they died.
21
grams.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question. Does the human soul have substance? Does it have mass? So there was a doctor in Massachusetts called Dr. Duncan McDougall in 1901, and he decided to fit a bed with weighing scales, and he got 6 dying patients to lie in it in their final moments, and then he recorded their exact weight just before they died, and then just afterwards. What I like about this is, first of all, he persuaded 6 dying people. 6? Yeah. He specifically chose people who had got conditions caused by physical exhaustion, so things like TB, for example, because he wanted them to remain still so he could get good measurements. It wasn't a flawless experiment. I have to say one patient was thoughtless enough to expire while he was calibrating the scales.
So he has to stand them on the scales?
No, the bed is on scales.
This is quite an elaborate machine.
Yeah. He measured one subject as losing 21.3 grams when he died, and he concluded that must be the weight of the soul. And for a very long time, that is what people thought. People thought the soul weighed about 21 grams. So they carried on making more experiments because he wanted to make sure. So he got 15 dying dogs. I mean, I don't know where you get them from.
Is your dog dying? Can I weigh it?
Well, he believed that dogs didn't have souls, and sure enough, none of them lost any weight when they died. They didn't lose the 21 grams.
I don't know, what does 21 grams weigh, like?
I know that if you're making a macaroni cheese for the family, you need 40 grams of flour.
Imagine the idea that your soul weighs half as much as you need of flour to make a macaroni cheese. It doesn't seem like a lot.
Well, the fact is, 2 of his 6 subjects didn't give any measurements at all. But also, at the time, there was a physician called Augustus P. Clarke, and he noted that there's often a sudden rise in body temperature when people die because the lungs stop cooling the blood, and as a subsequent rise in sweating, and that would account for the 21 grams.
That makes
There you go, then.
Thank you. What does this machine test?
Strength.
So, yeah, no.
Kinetic energy.
Oh, no, I like that.
I don't know what that is, Ed.
He has turned very clever.
He has. I just said the words. I don't know what it is. Don't worry.
It's a traditional fairground or pier attraction. It's known as the Heist Striker, the strongman game, strength tester. It's actually a test of accuracy, OK?
Oh.
The key is to maximise the force exerted on the mechanism by hitting the exact centre of the impact button flatly and squarely with the mallet. OK, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
You're up.
Go on, then.
OK.
Right.
Go and try it out. Now, it is possible that this game is not rigged, the one we're showing you, but they may have been rigged in the past. So sometimes they would set it to an easy mode, and somebody weak-looking would come along and strike the bell with ease.
Right. Whack it, Ed. Whack it.
Whoa! Oh,
it moved
70.
Oh, that was 100, surely.
No, 70.
Okay.
Is it fun?
Not like loads of fun, I'd say.
Right, Sindhu, you can have a go. Well done. So when they rigged it, they would set it to easy, and some weak guy would hit the bell. And then a big, strong bloke would think, oh, I can do that, if that weak guy can do it. And then they'd set it to hard, and he'd get, like, an embarrassing low score. And then the men would all be pumped up and want to have a go.
Come on, Cinder.
What'd you get?
A generous 50, I'd
A
say.
50. We're going to say 50. Well done, darling. Congratulations. Right, Liz.
Take a run up.
Cello.
Oh, you missed it completely! You're an actual menace.
Here you go.
Tupelo.
Again.
Good. Wow.
Worse.
Yeah, no. OK, Alan,
Add them together.
yes, 40. 40. What can you do?
It couldn't have been. It wasn't 40. 10. 50. 60.
50. I'm going to give you 50.
Thanks, Sandy.
So, I don't hit things professionally.
Oh, go on, give it a whack, son. It's very satisfying.
Guy, will you hit it for me?
It is very satisfying.
Guy, will you give it a go? Come on. Come and do this. This is Guy with us. You've got this.
Come on,
Go on, Guy.
Go on, Guy, you've got this.
Come on, Guy.
Oh, ba-ba!
Love it.
Incredible. Oh, well done, Guy. I love that. Well...
I smell a rat. A stinking rat.
As it happens, I've been to the opticians. There we go. And I have treated myself to a new pair of glasses, OK? So, a little bit like Clark Kent, I'm going to put them on. OK, here is the trick. As soon as I put them on, who do you think I look like now?
Prue Leith is the right answer.
It's somebody badass. It's a person who has killed more baddies on screen than any other actor.
Oh. I'm going John Wayne.
It's Mila Jovovich.
Oh.
Look, do you not think?
Really?
Yeah,
yes.
Oh,
It's uncanny.
Uncanny.
What are we doing?
Why?
What's going on here? What's going on?
Yeah, OK, do you know who she is?
She doesn't she's not even wearing glasses. You know that, right?
No, so... She's the star of The Fifth Element, as well as the Resident Evil series, and she has killed a shed load of people. So, This is how you fool facial recognition, OK? In 2016, the researchers at Carnegie Mellon University found that they could trick facial recognition software into mistaking their identity by using a pair of colourful glasses, OK? And they were able to have a middle-aged male researcher be mistaken by the software as Mila Jovovich, OK? And this is what the glasses look like.
I think I slept with the wrong person.
If it makes you feel any better, Jimmy, so do they.
The way facial recognition software works is it doesn't know if it's looking for a tiny image in a great big picture or it's looking for an image that's filling the entire picture. It's looking for little bits of specifics that then it says, yes, that's that person. So it looks for a particular shape of an eyebrow, it looks for a particular shape of a cheekbone. It is possible to compress all of that information down into a section of the frame of the glasses. And what will happen is the computer will say, oh, I found the things I'm looking for. It'll ignore entirely the face that is actually wearing the glasses because it feels it has already found the person.
You don't have to do that, Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. You peel your face off anymore. You just put on a ridiculous pair of glasses and get in anywhere.
About facial recognition?
Yeah.
Do they have it in Scandinavia, where all the people look exactly the same? Asking for a friend.
Definitely somebody over here is going to win. The spectacles could possibly trick facial recognition software into making them think you're somebody else. You probably couldn't open Mila's phone or her laptop, but you could certainly...
I can definitely open Romish's.
The easier trick than getting a special pair of glasses made is to use makeup. Sometimes it makes the person entirely invisible to a computer.
When the next pandemic comes and it's spread through the eyes and we have to put masks on the eyes, computers are screwed, aren't they?
I think we're all in quite a lot of trouble.
What might make you suspect that someone was a spy?
OK, I've actually got to say I'm very overqualified for this.
Oh,
right?
why? OK.
Well, I've met a spy.
Have you? Just
yet. My father's an African politician in Malawi. A few years ago, he was arrested. His office blew up. And panicked, he asked me and my brother to find him a spy, essentially, to investigate stuff. And all of this culminated in us meeting a spy at Wetherspoons.
Was it Shaken Not Stirred Saturdays?
What was he wearing?
Oh, he did not look like I expect. He looked more like a heavy metal drummer. He was like long-haired, big guy, lots of tattoos.
OK, so we're possibly going a bit more trad than that.
Okay.
So you've got a top-secret briefcase right next to you, my darling. If you pick that up, the thing that has betrayed a spy is in that briefcase. So if you open that up for me... Nobody has a proper briefcase anymore, do they? No. I like that noise, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
The chunk, it suggests business is afoot. Right, what have we got there?
I know I've gained a lot of weight recently, but is this an intervention?
This is a Fitbit. So what happened was, in 2018, they were tracking data from Fitbits, and it made it possible to work out where soldiers at American military bases had been jogging. So the data came from a company called Strava, and it's used by Fitbits and smartphones and so on to log exercise, and they released this heat map of activity. But it was a huge problem for places like Afghanistan and Syria because the army had given away 2,500 of these Fitbits as part of an exercise plan to get people moving, and everybody could work out where they were.
Guys, you've got to stay secret.
Wow.
Absolutely secret.
Wow.
Here is this GPS.
Carrie, let's have a look. You've got a briefcase as well. See what's in yours.
I feel like the really cool kid at school.
Yeah.
Bought my own briefcase, guys. Oh,
what have you got?
I have got some moustaches.
Oh, which one do you think suits you?
Well, there's some here. There's the Smarty, the Rogue, the Scoundrel, Casanova, Party Boy. I think I'm a party boy. But then, what about the Frida Kahlo?
Oh, the Frida Kahlo.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Oh, nice.
The monobrow.
But the top really sells it.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
what I thought. That's what I thought.
perfect.
I just need a monkey.
You would not draw attention to yourself at all if you had that.
Quite a lot of people look like that in Wetherspoon.
So here's a true story. 2008, an MI6 officer appeared on the One show to talk about recruitment, and he was wearing a false moustache.
No.
And it fell off during the segment, so the studio lights had weakened the glue, and the interviewer eventually had to point out that it was peeling off, and he replied, "I was worried that might happen." And he put it in his pocket for the rest of the interview. They edited that bit out, and it was obscured in the final programme, so the viewers didn't know about it. But don't you think that's marvellous? James, you've got a briefcase. Let's have a look at your briefcase. What have you got in there?
I genuinely can't open it.
Oh, Jay, don't pretend you didn't have a briefcase at school.
James has got loads of briefcases.
Yeah, he's like, how does this work?
Yeah, hold on a sec. I think I've changed the combination. And I'm going for 007. Yeah, hold on a sec.
Putting on gloves. James, I'm not saying that your career as a spy is over. I just think...
I reckon this is broke.
Push it here.
Yeah.
I've got gloves on now.
OK. I really hope you can't do this first time.
Let's have a go.
And with rubber gloves on, Joe.
I
Rubber
know,
gloves.
right?
What's in it? Is it worth it?
What have you got?
It's empty. I have a notebook. Oh, no, a passport and some staples. Are the staples meant to be in here?
Yes.
They are.
So they go together, the passport and the staples. What do you reckon?
I think that if you're a spy and you don't want people finding out your identity, you staple your passport together and then they can't open it and find out who you are.
Genius.
Smart.
Well, here's the thing. For years, the Soviet Union was able to catch spies due to staples. So American staples are made of stainless steel. They are not in the Soviet Union, and that meant that the Soviet Union ones rusted over time due to moisture in the air. And so official Soviet passports were stained around the staple brown. Passports forged in the United States by their agents did not have rust stains, and that would make people suspicious.
That's amazing. That's very cool. Really cool. Yeah.
Right, Alan, your briefcase.
Do you need help, or do you think you'll be able to open it like a turtle?
They're really difficult, Alan. Take your time.
Oh, straight away, first time, James. Pretty easy.
Here's the really annoying thing. I can't close this.
Thanks for watching. Remember seeing stuffed dogs at train stations with coin slots in them in order to collect money. Put your hand up if you remember.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, so they were real dogs that had been taxidermied, and then they had coin slots for donations either in their backs or in their heads. And it dates from a Victorian tradition, which I think lasted until about the 1950s, that dogs, they were called charity dogs, used to roam around British railway stations collecting for good causes, and they'd have a collection box on them, and then some of them were stuffed after death so that they could go on collecting. There's a very good example called London Jack, and London Jack was a black dog, a flat-coated retriever, but that's him on the left there. He'd gone blonde in the sunlight, and a taxidermist looked at him, discovered he'd got dark roots, so they re-dyed him on the... Every woman will appreciate this can happen. This can happen, but you just need to...
There was a load of real Labradors that died from getting coins jammed in there. I used to have I had a stuffed otter, and
Not a euphemism, calm down.
Yeah. I was in Kilkenny, and I won some money on a horse, and I got this money. I was walking past this sort of junk shop, and I saw this stuffed otter, and I thought, well, hang on, there's a stuffed otter. I've got some money. This is a match made in heaven. So I got this otter, and I spent 3 days just having fun with it around Kilkenny, you know, playing pranks on people, that sort of thing. And then I wanted to bring it back. I was living in London at the time, and I thought, are you allowed to import animal products, that sort of thing? So I went to the police station, and I walked in with it under my arm, and there was an old Irish policeman sat there like that, and I said, I want to take this otter to London. He went, oh, that'll be nice for him.
Have you still got it?
No.
What happened to it?
It died.
He went... he returned to his homeland.
What, did you return him to the sea?
No, if you must know, Sandy, my house burned down. I lost everything I owned. But let's not mention that.
Is that true?
Yeah. But you know what? I suspect the otter.
Yeah.
Sigmund Freud, Catherine the Great, and Che Guevara walk into a karaoke bar.
That's amore.
Catherine the Great told Che to drop kick Sigmund in the chest.
Oh.
Because he was running around saying everybody wanted to tickle their mum.
Is the karaoke significant?
Yes. It's all about singing.
Freud hated music.
OK, so now you're heading in the right direction. Why do you say he hated music?
Because he hated music.
What it was that he claimed that he was tone deaf. So he wanted to sing, but he was almost totally out of tune. He just thought that he was completely tone deaf. But the two people who do seem to have been tone deaf are Catherine the Great and Che. They do seem to have been properly tone deaf. She was a tremendous patron of the arts in Russia. She wrote her own libretti for operas and so on, but she couldn't personally perceive the music. And Che, he wrote that he would ask a friend to nudge him whenever a tango was played so that he could dance. A friend nudged him one time. He got up, danced a very slow, passionate tango, and it was, in fact, they were playing a quick Peruvian folk dance, so...
Che Guevara is really into rugby. Did you know that? Yeah. He published his own rugby magazine called Tackle. And he said, I love it so much that I don't care if I die playing rugby.
Yes, he said, even if it kills me, I'm happy to...
So you think if he'd been born English, he wouldn't have been bothered with all these revolutions. He'd have just
played
the Lions.
Yeah. There's a technical word for tone deafness. It's amusia, and congenital amusia, so proper, untreatable tone deafness, is about 1.5% of the population.
There's a colloquial term for tone deafness as well, which is E17. I was on the Big Breakfast once, a long time ago in the 90s, and the E17 were on guesting, and someone came in with headphones and a clipboard. It was live, you know. Would the boys sing a Big Breakfast jingle? And the manager said, boys don't sing.
There's a lot of facts in this show. I'm trying to process all this stuff. There's just facts firing off left and right.
I feel bad now. Do you want me to do less? I want you to be happy.
No, I'm happy.
OK.
Che Guevara, rugby.
The thing is, you just tell me things you know that I don't know. That's how it works. We just knock it backwards and forwards.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, tell me something I don't know. Go on.
I once accidentally kicked a turtle off a roof in Morocco.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, really.
Well, you rarely see a turtle on a roof.
I know. What were you and the turtle doing on the roof?
I didn't know he was there.
No, fair.
And I had very slippy, local, like, Moroccan slippers on.
Yeah.
And somebody pinged me a size 5 football. And as I volleyed that, the turtle's come out from behind that plant pot. And the ball and the turtle have gone off the roof. It was accident, pure accident, swear down.
Yeah, what are the chances?
Isn't it?
Yeah, OK.
And what happened then? You just went, oh, shit, oh, well. Or did you go down to see if it was all right?
Somebody did go and check if it was all right.
And?
Yeah.
It weren't all right.
Sticky and well worth stealing.
A friggin' nice stick. I don't...
Wow!
But like a good stick, like the best stick you've ever seen.
OK, you said stick. I thought you said something else entirely.
Wow. You're not going to avoid... Stick.
Stick.
A stick.
Sorry,
Stick?
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I'm having an identity crisis.
No, it's fine.
No, you said stick.
Friggin' nice.
Did you say stick?
I agree that when my son, if we go for a walk, he finds the best sticks, and he will hold on to that stick to a point. My wife won't let them in the house, these sticks, because they've been outside. So he will leave it on the doorstep, and the next morning, when his stick is still there, it's like the PlayStation 5 has been delivered. It's like a box to a kitten, a stick to a kid.
Wait till you get him a toy.
I know.
Ah, there's a bloody forest out there. Help yourself, mate. It's like Toys R Us.
It's a weapon, it's a friend, it's a companion.
Exactly.
I love
Rose knows.
that.
Like a stick.
She knows.
OK.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what the question was. So sticky and worth stealing.
Jam.
Sort of. It's kind
I'm going to say Post-its, because you don't ever buy that kind of thing, do you? You just steal that from
just
work.
from the office.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's the problem with the work I do. I never go to an office.
Yeah.
Stationery stealing.
It'd be a good idea.
What's that?
For a website where you could buy some stuff, but there was a shoplifty corner.
That's such a good idea.
And if you avoided being detected by a couple of windows and you could get into the shoplifting room, you could nick a couple of things and get away with it.
Let me write this down. I'm so sorry.
Because the fun of nicking something is gone at the moment, isn't it?
Have you
No one's
shoplifted?
nicked anything for ages.
I've never shoplifted in my entire life, though. Have you shoplifted?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't.
As a schoolboy, it was an absolute rite of passage.
Oh, my God.
I remember I had friends who had an aquarium and they'd go in the pet shop and just get weeds out of the fish tank.
I stole a Kinder Egg when I was about 13. I felt so guilty that I actually took it back the next day and put it back on the...
Alice, have you shoplifted?
They should...
I think you know the answer to this. I'm
Alice.
such a goody two-shoes. I haven't. But
So the three women have not shoplifted. I'm just putting it out there.
Rose has committed many crimes.
I committed fraud. I've been to jail for fraud, but that's a clever one.
Were you the person at school who got other people to nick stuff for you?
100%.
We had people like that.
A real
Go
racket.
in there and get me stuff.
Yeah.
Or if you don't, I'm going to beat the
Rose
crap
went
out of
straight
you.
for Ponzi scheme. $200 billion Ponzi.
100%.
OK, so we are going for something sticky, but it's something you could put on pancakes.
Oh, syrup.
Maple syrup?
Maple syrup. So, over several months, from 2011 to 2012, there was a group of thieves, and they stole 3,000 tonnes of maple syrup from Canada's global syrup reserves, aren't we? Who's not glad that those exist, right?
Oh, my God.
It became known, and I love this title, the Great Maple Syrup Heist.
Oh, good
I know.
Good name.
Does what it says on the tin.
What should we
literally.
call it?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like there have been other heists, but they just stole a sachet or something. So
When does it become a heist?
When it's enormously valuable. This is the most valuable heist in the whole of Canadian history. So Canada produces 80% of the world's maple syrup. 90% of that comes from Quebec alone, and they have a strategic reserve of about 160,000 or more barrels, which are worth $1,800 each. OK, it's quite a lot of money.
Oh.
And this is controlled by a group called the Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Producers, the FPA.
great bunch of lads.
I know,
Yeah.
such fun at parties.
They sound like a laugh.
And they keep control of the supply. And the reserve is only checked once a year. So the thieves went into the place, and what they did was they systematically removed some barrels, temporarily replaced them with empty ones, siphoned out the syrup, refilled them with water and replaced them. Perfect crime, OK? Because nobody knew until a syrup inspector, I mean, the job of dreams, I think.
Wow, isn't it?
A syrup inspector went and had a look, climbed on a stack of barrels and nearly fell because of the empty ones weren't strong enough to take his weight. And he raised the alarm, and in total 9,000 or more barrels had been emptied of maple syrup, worth $18 million.
Ring the alarm bell.
When is Guy Ritchie going to make that film?
I know.
I want to see Jason Statham doing a Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Floating in a tank of syrup.
What's the toughest obstacle faced by the first train to go all the way around the world?
Is it ticketing? Because it's technically both a return and a single.
So there was a guy called George Francis Train. He was an American entrepreneur. In 1870, he circumnavigated the world. He is the person who inspired Jules Verne to write Phileas Fogg.
His name was George Francis Train.
Train, I know. Yeah.
What are the chances?
Yeah, it's a fantastic trip. It took a long time going round, partly because he was arrested and held in Lyon Bastille for 13 days.
Did he give it a bad review on TripAdvisor?
Yes, oh, not so terrible. So what kind of transport did George Train introduce to Britain?
Introduced a mode of transport to Britain never seen before.
Yeah.
Paragliding.
Funicular.
Funicular.
Oh. I get it.
I like just that word, no. Sorry. Train ran Britain's very first successful tram.
Oh, of
Sister.
Oh. Did he go? How did he describe it? It's like a train.
Yeah, it's a bit like a
but
train.
It goes on the road. What are you going to call it?
Tram. So his first tram was in Birkenhead, and what I love about this, he obviously thought big, George. He invited all of the crowned heads of Europe to come to Birkenhead to help open the tram. Unbelievably, not one of them turned up. I know.
Oh, no, King of Spain hasn't turned up.
Princess of Sweden said yes, but I think it's a maybe.
He then set up a line from Marble Arch to Bayswater in London. Very popular, except with wealthy residents who had to cross the line to get to Hyde Park. They could not tolerate these new vehicles hogging a fixed section of the road on rails sticking up above the road surface and proving an obstacle to carriages.
It's also not very far, is it, Marble Arch to Bayswater? I know. We're off!
Yeah.
We're here.
He was arrested for, and I love this, breaking and injuring the Uxbridge Road. He's actually a wonderful character. He's wonderfully eccentric. He used to like to shake hands with himself.
What?
He was... How are you doing?
Is that a euphemism, Sandy? It's a long journey, a long time of his own. What are you doing in there? I'm shaking hands with myself. Get out of my tram! There's no such thing as a tram, you dirty bastard! I've just invented it! I'm going to Bayswater!
It's also...
It's only up the road! Leave me alone! I nearly finished until you came!
Train was arrested again in the United States. He was described...
Quite rightly so.
Yes. He was declared a lunatic for supporting Victoria... He was harsh. Well, he was a supporter of the women's suffrage movement, and there was a suffragist called Victoria Woodhull, who was the very first woman to run for president back in 1872, and he was arrested because he was a lunatic for supporting her. But he wasn't in favour of all women. He was outraged by another woman who's a sort of QI favourite, which is Nellie Bly. Anybody know anything about Nellie Bly? Alan, can you remember anything about Nellie Bly?
Oh, I can't remember.
In
one ear and out the other. Wasn't she an elephant?
She was a writer, and she, as a stunt for the New York World newspaper in 1889, she went round the world in 72 days. And Train responded immediately by making 2 much quicker journeys, because he couldn't bear it that somebody else had done it. He was no longer the guy. There's a guy called James Holman. He was an explorer, and in 1832 he became the very first blind person to circumnavigate the globe. He lost his sight in the Navy aged 25. So he left, he attended medical school, and he spent the next 40 years travelling. I mean, it's a fantastic story. He was imprisoned in Siberia as a spy, in a river named after him in Equatorial Guinea. He published 5 volumes of memoirs. And I love this. He claimed he could tell a person's social status by the sound of their footsteps.
See, this is what they told him. He had no idea where he went.
No.
He sailed up and down Loch Lomond for 5 years while they put different spices under his nose. That's you in China now. Look at this. It's magic. I'm going to become a doctor.
Where the hell have all the teaspoons gone? In 2004, there was a group of epidemiologists in Melbourne, and they decided to set up a study using numbered teaspoons, and they distributed them through the institution's tea areas, and they concluded that the half-life of a teaspoon was 81 days. What that means is within 81 days, half the spoons had vanished, OK? And overall, they worked out this would mean 18 million teaspoons had gone missing every year in Melbourne alone. Just to help you, Alan, that is the equivalent in weight to 4 blue whales.
Wow. What are people doing with the
Well, it's really interesting. Teaspoons are 6 times more likely to disappear than forks. I think that's because a fork is very uncomfortable in your back pocket. I do think that's part of it.
My grandmother, a few years ago, told me about when she first came to this country and was working in a factory, and cutlery kept going missing from the factory, and she said, oh, and one of these women who I was working with said that, she would have stolen them because she's Indian and they steal cutlery. And I was just like, is that a racial stereotype about Indians, that we steal cutlery? Like, is that a thing that people used to think about us or anything?
Well, the thing is that everybody does, is the truth of it.
Yeah.
So there's an economic theory called the tragedy of the commons, OK? And it holds that when individuals share property, they tend to exploit it more for themselves at the expense, basically, of the group as a whole. If each individual takes a teaspoon, they think it doesn't matter. But if everybody does it, it is actually going to harm the whole group.
So, here, did your grandma then, in the end, did she give the spoons back? Or...
Actually, I shouldn't say that on TV. She'll kill me. But I know where all the teaspoons are.
Oh.
My mum. Every restaurant we go in, she steals a teaspoon. I don't know why.
Where are they?
In her drawer. And she remembers where they're all from. They all have a teaspoon and she'll be like, Milan. On it saying, I got to a point where we go in a nice cafe and we go, don't. Don't. And Mum goes, I won't. And then we'll come out and she'll be like... Sorry, Mum. Sorry. But you need to be stopped.
Did your mother worked in a factory at the same time as my grandmother?
Thank you for watching. Giles.
Yes.
Tell me, what's the best way to win a non-stop speaking competition?
Oh, look.
Oh, look,
There's a picture of me in younger and happier days, making the longest speech in the history of the world. I spoke on that occasion only for about 3.5 hours.
Oh.
I then broke the record again, speaking for 7 hours, then for 8 hours, then for 11 hours. I shared that record with Nicholas Parsons, and eventually I retired when I'd spoken non-stop for 12.5 hours.
Do you actually make notes, or do you just...
No, you had to do it without notes, without repetition, and keeping the audience there. That was the challenge. And also staying there through the night. And
Did you have a wee, darling?
That's the whole problem. I knew I'd need to go to the loo. But this was for a charity, and they supplied me with an appliance that you strap around. It's given to field marshals.
And babies.
No, it's a full size. For field marshals on cold parade grounds, old men. It's a sort of tube thing.
Isn't that uncomfy?
Well, initially, but it's quite exciting, actually, as the evening wears on.
Do you know, it's really funny. They said, see if Giles can be persuaded to reminisce. And you were. Well, non-stop competitive speaking is a sort of lesser-known sibling of the dance marathon craze. There was a thing in 1928 called the Noun and Verb Rodeo, and it took 4 days. And you could say whatever you wanted as long as you spoke for 22.5 hours a day. Could you do that, do you think?
Yeah, certainly.
Don't start, I mean...
But wouldn't that be exciting? We could do it here and break a record and do something useful for a change.
But repetition was allowed. There was one woman who repeatedly recited the part of Lady M until she passed out. Another competitor used his words to propose to a fellow player who used her time to explain why she wasn't interested. And the third said something so offensive, they had to have him arrested for loose talking. In fact, as far as I know, the longest speech is a filibuster in the United States Senate, which was a man called Storm Thurmond of South Carolina, US Senator in 1957, and he spoke for 24 hours and 18 minutes. It's a record that still stands. But he's not my favourite person, because he spoke against the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah. What a prick.
Yes.
It's like one of those Olympic records where the person was on steroids. Like, it definitely should come with a big old asterisk.
Yeah, I mean, don't speak ill of the dead, apart from him.
You know, I'm gonna say it right here, right now. I think I can beat that, because all I need to do is say, like, 4 sentences.
Absolutely. That is one of the ways of doing it. Just Take it very slowly indeed. For me, the challenge really was keeping the audience awake, as you can imagine, because that was the rule. They had to stay, you know.
Sorry, I drifted off. I wasn't listening. What's so terrible about trousers?
They say they're a size 14. They're definitely not. They're never a size 14. I have trousers that are a size 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20. All of them fit me. And I don't understand why the designers can't get together and just make a plan and then decide on that, because I've had enough. And the women in this audience have had enough.
I ordered a Christmas dress. And it came, and it was that wide. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, I ordered a medium and it's that big. And they said, well, that's what size it is. And I said, yeah, but it's too big. And they said, well, it will fit someone.
But you can argue with that, that is
and I
true.
said, yes, but it doesn't work like that. Clothes have sizes. You can't just make it one size. And they said, well, we do. And then we send them out and just give it to someone if you don't want it. No. And that's how they operate.
That is going to ruin Christmas when someone opens it and you go, yeah, I was far too thin for that. Please enjoy.
But what's so terrible about trousers historically?
Well, we couldn't wear them for a
You
long
could be
time.
arrested for wearing trousers. It was illegal for women to wear trousers. In about 40 cities in the United States, people were arrested. They were charged with impersonating a man, right up until... Why would you want to? Right up until 1923, when the federal government overrode the laws and made it allowable. Before that, even when serving in the army or mountain climbing, for example, women had to wear heavy woolen skirts. Also in Europe, Henriette d'Anqueville, she claimed to be the very first woman to climb Mont Blanc in 1838, and she did so dressed like that.
Is it cheating to use a ladder to climb a mountain?
They've deliberately taken her a tricky route, haven't they?
You go first, love. Welcome.
No, this is the only way we can do it.
But I not have the plank? No, it has to be a ladder.
It looks like she's going to go along there, over the next ladder, and then they'll just bring her back round again. It's the same ladder we went over before. No, you keep going. You're doing very well.
It's like a sort of Escher drawing, isn't it? Going round and round and round. The first woman to controversially climb Matterhorn in trousers, 1895, was Annie Smith Peck. And if you don't know her, she is just incredible. She once climbed a mountain and hung a Votes for Women banner at the top when she got there.
There were no other women up there to appreciate her sign.
I don't think it was women who needed the message, Danny.
She's got the same trouble with hats that you've got with your trousers.
It's true, she's ordered that online.
Yeah.
They said that was a large.
It's a 3-year-old's hat. No, it looks good. It looks
good. It'll fit someone.
But if you were a woman in Paris, for example, 1800 to 2013, you had to have a special permit, permission de travestissement, to wear trousers.
Did you say till 2013?
February 2013, it was finally overturned. No. I can't say it was constantly enforced.
I'm sure I went to Paris in trousers before 2013, but I didn't know I was dicing with the law.
No. Please to watch this Shakespearean phrase. I am sworn brother to a leash of drawers, and can call them all by their Christian names as Tom, Dick, and... Cinderella!
Is Cinderella right?
I'm going to give you 2 points for timing.
Yeah, thank you.
So, who is it? It's Tom, Dick,
Well, we know what it's not, then.
What is it?
But I'm not going to say what it's not, because you'll give me the klaxon.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Go on, you know you
show
want...
is so cruel.
Yeah, Ed said
Harry.
Does anybody know the answer? So this is Prince Hal speaking in Henry IV, Part 1.
Steve, Dave.
It's Francis. The answer is Francis. This is a very curious combination of people. Tom Allen, Dick Van Dyke and Pope Francis. I like it very much. So...
Someone's dream dinner party. could be worse.
Tom, Dick and Harry doesn't come out until about 134 years later. There's a song in 1734 called Farewell Tom, Dick and Harry, Farewell Moll, Nell and Sue. There's an equivalent in French, Monsieur, Madame, tout le monde is the same.
Mr. and Mrs. Everybody.
Is there a Dutch version of that?
It's just, a poop and plus. I won't translate it.
Shit where you like.
Yeah.
What kind of tractor can't move anything heavier than an ant?
Is it a tractor beam?
It is a tractor beam.
No way, but it can move the Millennium Falcon.
Okay, do you think it is just a matter of science fiction?
The Millennium Falcon?
No, not since you mentioned the ant.
Can it move a deck as well?
It can only move ant, not deck.
So we are talking about tractor beams. So those are devices that move objects using a beam of energy. Now, up until fairly recently, they were confined to the realms of science fiction. But Professor Bruce Drinkwater and his team at Bristol University have made one. It consists of hundreds of tiny little loudspeakers. They generate sounds that are louder than a jet engine, but they are too high-pitched for the human ear to be able to detect it. And these sound waves, they surround an object, holding it in place, basically in a sort of invisible cage.
An actual tractor beam?
Well, let's find out. Please welcome Professor Bruce Drinkwater. Right, Bruce, tell me what you are holding in your hand.
Well, this is the tractor beam.
I mean, it looks like a piece of wood with a bit of wire on it.
Yes, it's a low-cost, battery-powered version. You can make it at home if you want.
Amazing. So, you've got in this box here, you've got little tiny polystyrene balls.
Yep, polystyrene balls.
So, if you just pick one up for us...
Oh, right.
And then just drop it down. We can see it just drops, right? And the idea is that you're going to use the tractor beam to make this hover in the air, is that right?
It is indeed, yes.
OK. Is it on?
It's not. I'll switch
I mean, I
it on.
can't tell. I have absolutely no idea.
Can you hear it now?
No. So, inside there, lots and lots of tiny little speakers, is that right?
Exactly. They're all outputting ultrasounds. You can't hear it, hopefully.
What could hear it?
Bats, dogs and cats.
Right, so the theory is that you're going to pick up one of these polystyrene balls and make it hover in the air.
Exactly. So, as you said, there's a sound field in there with a little quiet region surrounded by a very loud region. And so I'm going to try to put the little object in the quiet region.
We've just got to find the exact spot for it.
There we go.
Oh! That is extraordinary. So, like a magic trick, I want to know there's no wires or anything that I can't see. Can you show me?
Right, well, this is a wire loop.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can...
Wow.
Get it.
So what? That is extraordinary. So what's holding it in place?
It's the sound itself, making a very, very careful pattern, which is sort of a bit like where the particle is, it's like noise cancellation, so there's no sound. And then around it, it's very loud. So we've sort of sculpted a sound field around the particle.
So I think of a tractor beam as drawing it towards, but it seems to be pushing it away.
It might look like it's pushing it away, but the real proof of a tractor beam is it's got to be able to pull something, and that will mean that it beats gravity. So if I turn this over, hopefully you can see it's beating gravity. And if I press this button here, it will pull the particle up. No! Oops, oh, there it dropped out.
So what are the practical extrapolations from this? Could you make a giant one, for example?
You could make a giant one, and that might be able to replace robots, to make tiny things. All your electronics are getting smaller, so you want tools to be able to handle those. You can also make smaller versions of this that can move really, really small things, like cells and microparticles, viruses, potentially.
So you're looking at something in a microscope that you can't manipulate, but you might be able to with a tractor beam. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. So at the moment, using a microscope is a one-way process. You look at something, but you can't really interact with it very easily. But with sound waves like this, all shrunk down into the microscope, you could. And you can move things, prod things, and you can even assemble them together, potentially to form the starting point for new tissues to grow, like new muscles.
It's mind-blowing. How much to make one of those for yourself?
This, the parts are about £100.
Wow.
That's not bad.
That's amazing.
We could club together and make one of those.
Yeah. Professor Drinkwater, thank you, Bruce. Thank you. What's all legs and no trousers? Or anything else very much? Oh.
It sounds like my daughter on Instagram, my teenage daughter.
Yes, a lot of legs and no trousers.
Yeah, they do a lot of that, don't
Posing.
they? Yeah.
Mm. Jamal is nodding. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, no, I've heard.
Have you?
No, that might
I've heard that there are women posing like that on Instagram.
Really?
I've never investigated. I don't even have Instagram. Whatever. Be quiet. No.
Sea spider.
Sea spider.
Sea spider. They are almost all leg. There's some. Look at these.
Oh.
They are sometimes known as nobodies. I mean, they do actually have bodies, and they have a brain and a mouth and so on. They suck their prey through a proboscis, but the guts are in the legs. The genitals are in the legs. They breathe through their legs. The main problem is that they have such long legs, and I sympathise with this.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I've had this happen to me at the seaside. Sometimes barnacles and algae attach themselves. And that slows you right down.
I've got short legs.
Yeah.
I genuinely have never, as an adult, had a pair of trousers that I haven't had to take up.
Yeah, but what you can do is cut that off and make a jacket. Let's have a quick look at the way they walk. The interesting thing is, as they're walking, their way of breathing, they're absorbing oxygen from seawater, which is sucked in through holes in the legs. It is actually quite inefficient, but in, for example, high oxygen freezing waters of the Antarctic, it works well enough.
There doesn't seem to be much going for them, because you said even their way of getting the water in is not very effective.
The two animals you showed me, they're both a bit crap, isn't it?
You wouldn't want to be one of those.
No, I wouldn't want to be them or even look at them, really. Yeah, I prefer a staff or something. That's just...
My favourite double S underwater animal, sea slugs, also known as nudibranchs.
Is that them?
Yes, I think they're rather marvellous. There's over 3,000 different species, and they have wonderful names like sea clown, shaggy mouse, the wet lemon, the white-spotted sea goddess, the hunchback Doris. I think they're rather beautiful, don't you?
And they're the same thing?
There's over 3,000 different species. They're the same type of animal.
Can they breed with each other?
No. Do you mean like taking a cocker spaniel and a poodle and making a dog?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that would work out at all. Check out this next one, the green sea slug. It is one of the only animals to get its food from photosynthesis, so exactly like plants.
wow.
And it does it by consuming algae and then stealing its chloroplasts, that's the cell parts that are responsible for photosynthesis, and making them work for it instead. So honestly, it can eat simply by lying out in the sun.
Are you sure it's not just a leaf? It looks like a leaf to me, and you're just explaining a leaf.
This is the initiation on QI.
Things are rarely as they seem.
What do you do with a pair of Allens? An Australian should know this in a way, because it's one of the particular ways of speaking Australia shares with Britain, or particularly with London.
Alan Wickers.
Alan Wickers, Knickers. There you are.
Oh, we haven't heard that one, because we call them Reg Grundy's undies.
Oh, there you are. Here's a quite interesting thing about rhyming slang. I heard someone in a London market talking and saying, I'm not Listerine. And I said to him, what do you mean Listerine? And Listerine is an example of a sort of a rhyming slang that's moved on one, because an American in rhyming slang is often called a septic, which is short for septic tank. Yank, which you've probably heard. So if you don't like Americans, you are antiseptic. And if you're antiseptic, you're Listerine. See? So Listerine, there you are. So, in the same way, while on the subject, you can have a rubber Gregory.
Oh, I love it.
Do you know what a rubber Gregory is?
No, a peck.
It's
Gregory Peck.
So
rubber neck.
No, that would work as a rubber neck. It's actually a cheque that bounces. Because a Gregory Peck is a cheque, and so if your cheque bounces, in other words, returned by the bank, it's a rubber. It gave me a rubber Gregory. Do you like my earthy street London accent?
He sounds like such an idiot.
Yeah. So. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. In the right hands, even a meaningless two-syllable name can be made as frisky as a gay ferret in a pink blender. I leave you with one last Alan Bennett, who, when asked if he was gay, replied wearily, that's a bit like asking a man crawling across the Sahara whether he would prefer Perrier or Malvern water.